There are a number of races that have a lot of prestige, but none has the cachet of Long Beach. That's where we are. Welcome everybody to the Pirelli World Challenge at Long Beach, presented by Kia, and we are ready for our Pirelli World Challenge pre-race show for round 3 of the Pirelli World Challenge Championship. I'm Greg Kramer, joined by Jeff Lepper. We're at the Optima Battery Fan Zone. Optima Battery, a great partner and the ultimate power source. And it's great to be here, and I'll tell you what, we've got so many wonderful stories evolving just as the season progresses, but right here at Long Beach, some beauties. Let's get right into it, Jeff, with qualifying. In GT, it looked as though we were going to have a Volvo sweep of the overall and GT front row. Local guy had something to say about that.
Yeah, I know both me and you were sitting there like, okay, well, we can start doing our top 10 on the order. You know, we have Alex Figge on the pole, Randy Popes in their K-Pax Racing Volvo 60Rs, but how about local boy James Safranis and his Global Motorsports Group Mobil 1 Audi R8? Literally, the checkered flag's out, last car on the track comes around, puts a flyer down on pole position for round number 3. Local race, 6 cars prepped here. Can't ask for anything better.
Well, and he comes in as the point leader after a second and a win at the opening 2 rounds at St. Pete. This track notoriously tough to pass on. You start up front, that's key. The question is, can he keep those Volvos and that all-wheel drive on the standing start behind him? That's going to be the interesting story. In GTS, another great story. Andy Lee, superb talent. Bit of a problem earlier in the week leading up to this race. Their prime engine that they wanted to run here an issue, and yet a remarkable story in qualifying.
That's right, has to put his backup motor from, or their backup motor now, which is the motor from last year.
Yep.
But hey, that's a good bullet. He won 4 races with that engine last year, and this track, not necessarily a horsepower track, better handling on the street circuit, taking advantage of the setup that Chris Harrison, the crew chief there, put on that car, comes out, sets pole position with the backup motor. Great job for Andy Lee and that Best IT Bob Bondurant Crown 7 Camaro.
In that GTS category, a couple of other stories that are really quite compelling as well. One is one of Journey, and I mean Journey. Lawson Aschenbach has now put on, what, some 6,000 miles racing on 2 different sides of the continent here.
Yeah, absolutely. Had to come over here, practice his Camaro, the Black Dog Speed Shop, had to fly back east for another race, took a red-eye back tonight. He says he got about 10 hours of sleep in 3 days, qualified the car, starting 4th right now. Great run for him. He's back at the hotel already. He's getting ready to go to bed. We'll get him dressed here. We have about, I don't know, 15 minutes before the green flag. He's probably still asleep.
Yeah, he's going to be scrambling, but he'll be ready to go. A great talent there. And another guy, this is an interesting story because we got a great rookie in this GTS class this year, driving the Lotus Exige S, Jim Taggart. And a great story, comes out of club racing, has proven to be very successful at that level, wanted to step up into the pro ranks. And we come into Long Beach, not only a prestige event as we talk about, but big pressure to get here with limited track time to get quick, get fast. But Tyler McQuarrie in a Lotus Exige S won it in 2010. Taggart's got some big shoes to fill here.
Yeah, and especially at St. Pete, they had the backup car at St. Pete, not necessarily the Lotus Sport chassis they wanted to run. That car is here. Jim Taggart, a true grassroots effort, so much so that Grassroots Motorsport did the Grassroots to Glory program, a $500 winner at St. Pete. He's back again. Got a lot to live up to in that Lotus.
Absolutely. And you hear us talking about all the different manufacturers, 15 manufacturers here for GT and GTS, balancing those cars in each category to make it fair. That used to be an art, but you found out that now there's a little bit of science being applied.
That's for sure. Pirelli World Challenge brought in Jeff Carter last year. He's in his 2nd year right now. Earlier I caught up with him to give his thoughts on exactly how he's making over 20 different makes in all 4 classes of the Pirelli World Challenge match.
Last year when I came in, we wanted to establish a platform of analyzing our data. We have a data acquisition system in all of our cars from RaceKeeper. What we do is we capture the data, we do a post-acquisition analysis, and in the off-season we put in a few extra compound metrics so we can take it to the next level. Some of the metrics that we look at obviously top speed, we look at cornering, braking Gs, we take sector times at different sectors around the track. For instance, if we have a car that is showing an excessive top speed but is showing a pretty good lap time, we have a way to dissect those metrics now and come up with kind of a forensic analysis of where the car performs. For instance, speed is usually corrected with a horsepower adjustment, and handling is typically handled with a weight adjustment. And so whether it goes up or down, those are kind of the areas that we look into. In the past, we've always had a little bit of controversy in whether it was warranted or not, and now we have 3 or 4 different ways that we can triangulate the data and have a way to substantiate and legitimize our changes moving forward. It is very difficult to match all the different brands. We have great brand diversity, as you just said, and really you can't argue with data. You know, people try to break holes in our system, but in the end the data says what it says, and we do have a very professional paddock here at the Pirelli World Challenge, and everybody has been very good. I do spend a lot of time talking with our competitors, and yeah, it is a very difficult job, but it's challenging and very rewarding.
So later on in the broadcast, we'll go ahead and give you Jeff Carter's number if you have something to complain about as well.
Yeah, Jeff Carter, just a remarkable man, and what he's doing with this, I think, is going to pay huge dividends down the road in getting these cars balanced and really letting everybody just drop the hammer and go for it. You know, we've got a really nice story here also to mention. You know, this is a fiercely competitive paddock on the track, but it is also a very much family of racers in the paddock, and we've got a great story. Don Istook, who underwent heart surgery right before St. Pete, kind of a serious deal, actually here is looking to come back and race. He's on the ground. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. 4 weeks ago, quadruple heart bypass surgery. Yesterday, he's over there signing autographs in the Optima Battery fan zone right here. It was amazing to see that. Great to see Don Istook back, and I can't wait to see him in his Audi TTRS. He'll be racing in the next round at COTA.
That's amazing. What a recovery indeed. And we've got another big story, and we're going to actually have a special guest who's going to stop by and talk to it. There is only one guy who's got 2 wins here on the streets of Long Beach. His name is Brandon Davis, and he'll be with us on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly Sports Car Wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. Welcome back to the Optima Battery Fan Zone here at Long Beach for the pre-race show for the Pirelli World Challenge at Long Beach, presented by Kia. I'm Greg Kramer still. This is still Jeff Lepper, but we got a third guy here, and it is Brandon Davis. And Brandon, first of all, thanks for stopping by. As the only 2-time winner here, obviously the Brandon Davis name carries a lot of weight here in the World Challenge paddock, certainly in the GT ranks, former GT champion as well. But you're here now with a program you haven't run at this track with before, bringing a fairly renowned mark into the series in the GTS category.
Yeah, I mean, we're really fortunate. I get to be here with Aston Martin in the GTS class. It's kind of a learning experience for us with the car never being here before and a new car in the series.
Right.
But the guys are doing a really good job, and I think really the best part of what we're doing here is that it's with TRG. These guys know how to win. They've been here before in other series with other makes, and so you have the great Aston Martin brand and really a great street car that turns into a great race car. So we're not quite at the front where we want to be yet, but this is the first time out, and we're building each session. And the really exciting thing is that the best the car is going to be all weekend will be the race, and every session we've gotten faster, and that's something to look forward to.
And obviously it's a developmental deal. As you said, first time in, you got to dip your toe in the water, find out where you sit relative to the competition here. And one thing you are well aware of is the competition in Pirelli World Challenge GT is intense.
Yeah, it is. And, with all the different makes and all the different brands and just great drivers, really in both classes. And, get to have friends and, come back and see my old friends and whatnot and run against them, which is always fun. But, it's tough, and it's the difference is in the past we've run cars, it's been a well-sorted car that we've taken here a million times, and we'll make little tiny changes, and at this point we're making big changes, and we're making big gains too, but it's a different process. And so, the guys have done a great job at TRG, and Aston Martin's been great to work with, and hopefully we'll get there.
And I know the Aston Martin Vantage GT4 that you're racing right now, kind of feel a little James Bondish there, but there's a lot of other things going on with this series through the Racers Group and this car, as well as a one-make series and a chance to race this car pretty much everywhere across the country.
Yeah, I mean, the really great thing that they've done with the car is that they've made it so you can bring it into different series, World Challenge being one of them. There are some other ones out there. And the biggest thing, too, is that they're working on a one-make series for next year where you can pretty much drive the car that we're running here today in a one-make series and just come out and drive for the day and have some good racing. You get to be James Bond for the day, right? So who doesn't want that?
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask you here, you're a 2-time winner here, but even you were not able to repeat. Nobody has ever gone back-to-back here in either of the categories that are racing here this weekend. What do you think the odds are of Andy Pilgrim in GT or Jack Baldwin in GTS being able to be the first to ever do that?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough. You know, I think in both classes you have cars that are starting to stand out a little bit through practice, and they're not the guys that won last year. So, you know, James has been fast in the Audi, and Andy Lee has been really fast in the Camaro. So, you know, you're going to need Andy Pilgrim and Jack to really pull it out to get the win. And, you know, you never know. It's a street course. Anything can happen. But right now, obviously, the pace has been shown by the Audi and the Camaro. And, you know, we'll see what happens during the race. But it is tough to repeat because you've got so many cars, and they're all so tight. So we'll see.
Very quickly, what's your favorite corner here, and what's your diabolical corner here?
Favorite corner here would probably be, I think it's 5 coming back towards the pit lane because it comes a little bit off camber, which is it's kind of fun to manage the tires and be able to really get a good run through there. My least favorite is the hairpin coming on the front straightaway because I think we're going about 30 miles an hour, and you know, it's like we're driving on a street and sitting at a stoplight pretty much.
Well, let's take a look now at the complete circuit. As always, we're going to have our Cadillac key corners. Today we go on board one of the beautiful Cadillac CTSVRs with Andy Pilgrim. Enjoy this.
Long Beach Grand Prix. This is the front straightaway, and it is a corner. We basically pick up quite a bit of G-force through this turn. We're flat out here, maybe up to 160 miles an hour, braking uphill to turn 1. We've got a 5.43 200 there. You hit it hard up the hill. Left-hander here, turn 1. It's a steady state corner. Then you come through the famous fountain area. Through the fountain, on the power out here, fighting for grip out of there. This is an off-camber, right-hand turn, turn 4. It's a little tricky, concrete everywhere, no tires. Very much off-camber here, exit turn 5. Upsets the car when you go over the top of that. Then you got a straightaway down here to turn 7. 7 is, again, a left-hander, opens out big time. Little lock up there, opens out big time. You come down, up over the hill, down to turn 8. Turn 8 has some good curbing on the inside, tires on the outside. You really want to carry good speed here. This is the second longest straightaway. Back straightaway up to top of 5th gear down here. And we are coming into the brake zone. Excellent passing place down here to the right and even on the left sometimes. Flat corner, did some resurfacing. Really grips pretty well. Coming through long left-hander to the very famous Long Beach hairpin, which is actually turn 11. And you come in wide. You got to make sure you don't hit the wall on the exit. And we are back onto the front straightaway, and that is your Cadillac key corners from Long Beach.
We are back at the Optima Battery Fan Zone for the Pirelli World Challenge pre-race show here at Long Beach. It's time for us to put our credibility completely on the line and our reputations perhaps up in the air and make some picks here. Let's start in GTS. Who do you think is going to be able to pull it off?
A guy we haven't really talked about a lot, Kevin Gleason in that Napleton Porsche Cayman S, qualified second now. Came out Mid-Ohio last year, won the second round at Mid-Ohio. I think he's my pick to win.
You know, Jack Baldwin, who won last year, also in one of the Porsches, but he qualified worse this year than he did last year, and I think traffic's going to be a problem. I think Andy Lee, the way that Andy is driving, if he can keep those Pirelli P0 slicks on that Camaro, and he can do that, he's good at it here. That's a big car. He can keep him behind him. I think he might be the guy to watch as well in GTS. Let's go to GT.
GT, one to win, I think, is going to be Alex Figge. That K-Pax Racing Volvo S60R out-qualified his teammate once again. And you got to give it to local boy to watch. You still got to watch out for James Safranis in that Global Motorsports Group Audi R8. But the way the Volvos launch, Figge's my pick.
Well, and I got to go with the Volvo as well. I'm going to go with Pope simply because I think he's tired of being second to Alex Figge this season so far. And while he's always been wicked quick here at Long Beach, he's never had the win here. And I think if he can get the launch that Volvo does, if he can split and get around and get out front, I think Randy's got the ability to lead this one and bring it home. One thing we know for sure, whoever does it in either category, this is going to be one phenomenal race coming up.
It sure will, and it'll be very, very honored to win this race as well for each of these drivers.
It's Long Beach after all. The third round of the Pirelli World Challenge Championship is about to unfold. We're going to take a break. While we're gone, Jeff's going to head up to the booth. I'm going to head down onto the grid. We've got some pre-race ceremony festivities, and then the green lights for racing here in the streets of Long Beach. Stay with us. It's going to be awesome. The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly Sports Car Wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. Revs coming up, we're green!
Big move coming off the 3.
2, 3, 4 abreast in some spots.
Side-by-side action.
He absolutely nailed it.
Three-way battle.
And we've got an incident. You would expect nothing less.
Oh, clips the inside apex.
Very racy. This is going to get into
Side, that is a brave move. What a pass. This is what World Challenge is all about.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Great to have you here on the streets of Long Beach. It's the third round of the Pirelli World Challenge. The Pirelli World Challenge at Long Beach, presented by Kia, the 39th running of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, the Roar by the Shore. Anytime you get a chance to race here, it is truly an honor, something very special indeed. And we hope to put on a great show for all of you that stayed today. We appreciate it. You guys are some great race fans, and we love you. The Pirelli World Challenge Series appreciates this so much. In return, we hope to put on one smoking good race for you. We're going to move things along pretty quickly here and get this race underway. So I'm going to start right off here with our starting lineup, and we'll get to our dignitaries in just a minute. Nick Janssen, who drives the number 36 Kia Motors America Kia Optima, actually had a good qualifying time, but he ended up popping a motor. Just happens in racing sometimes. And when you change a motor, you go to the back of the pack, and that's where he will be starting now, back in 37 spot. 36 spot will be the number 86 of Robert Stout out of Brownsburg, Indiana. He's the 2010 touring car winner right here on the streets of Long Beach, and the champion that year in the beautiful TRD Lucas Oil and E3 Spark Plug Cyan FRS. Next up will be the number 52. He is Roger Rodas, making his first start in the Pirelli World Challenge Series out of El Salvador. He's done a lot of Porsche Club racing and some Pirelli GT3 Cup racing. They had a bad crash in practice and in qualifying. They literally have brought in a brand new car, rebuilt that package, and have him on track. These crews are amazing. Starting 34th in the Motul StopTech Fometics Porsche Cayman S, number 72 will be Buzz McCall. Starting in the 33rd spot, the number 75, Roger Rodas' teammate in the always evolving Autotopia Ford Mustangs, Eric Davis, his first pro race ever. Welcome him to Long Beach. Starting 32nd will be the number 21. These are all GTS category cars. Will be the number 21 of Artie Topi for Capaldi Racing in his Boss Mustang. Starting 31st will be number 95, Bill Ziegler in the Swisher Racing Global Motorsports Group Pontiac Solstice. Starting in the 30th spot will be the number 26. And welcome this team, this manufacturer to GTS. It's so exciting. In the Vizio Hulu Plus Aston Martin Vantage GT4 from the Racers Group, the very quick Damian Faulkner. Starting in the 29th spot will be the number 51, Motul SPL Sparco Nissan 370Z of Rick Boucher. Starting in the 28th spot, in the GTS category, will be the number 29 Crown 7 Bondurant Best IT Chevy Camaro of Harry Burton. Starting in the 14th spot in the GTS ranks, 27th overall, the number 62 Champ BMW M3 E92 of Mark Clennon. Starting in the 26th spot will be the number 7 Trenton Forging Steeda Autosport Ford Mustang of Dane Moxlow. He'll start 13th in GTS. 12th in GTS, 25th overall will be the number 96 Voodoo Dat Dog Ford Mustang Boss 302S of Brad Adams. Starting in the 24th spot overall, 11th in GTS, the number 11 Black Dog Speed Shop Chevy Camaro of Tony Gaples. Starting in the 23rd spot overall, 10th in GTS, a three-time world champion in this series back in the 1990s in the LG Motorsports Chevy Camaro, Lou Gelati out of Dallas, Texas. Starting 22nd overall, 9th in GTS, one of our rookies, and he drives one of the funnest and sweetest cars here today, the beautiful Lotus USA-sponsored Lotus Exige S of Jim Taggart, number 61. Starting 8th in GTS, 21st overall will be the number 27. This is the only two-time winner here on the streets of Long Beach. He won here in 2008 and in 2011, driving the HP Hewlett-Packard Adobe Road Winery Aston Martin Vantage GT4 from the Racers Group. Please welcome number 27, Huntington Beach, California's Brandon Davis. Starting 20th overall, 7th in GTS. In the HPD Acura, Redline Oil Acura TSX, number 34, San Diego's Nick Isayan. Starting 19th overall, 6th in GTS, the number 38 Kia Motors America Kia Optima of Mark Wilkins comes in here 5th in the points. Starting in the 5th spot in GTS, 18th overall, he is your current point leader and your defending race winner here on the streets of Long Beach. How about a big welcome back for the Motul StopTech Fometics Porsche Cayman S of the legendary sports car driver Jack Baldwin. Starting 4th in GTS, 17th overall, a gentleman who's put over 6,000 miles on, going from here back to road Atlanta, then back here to race in the Black Dog Speed Shop. Chevrolet Camaro, the number 10, two-time champion, Lawson Aschenbach. 2nd in the points. Starting 3rd in GTS, 16th overall, our 7-time champion in the Pirelli World Challenge, one of the true legends of the series in his Acura HPD Redline and real-time racing Acura TSX, the number 42 of Peter Cunningham. Starting 2nd in GTS, it's a great story. The Napleton Porsche Cayman, 6th in the points coming in here, the number 16 of Kevin Gleason. And on your pole, he comes in 4th in the points. He had a close 2nd in the championship last year to Peter Cunningham, driving the Crown 7 Bondurant Best IT Chevrolet Camaro, the number 20 of the immensely talented Andy Lee. And folks, the top 5 cars in GTS, all underneath the existing track record. These Pirelli P0 slicks continue to impress. Let's move now to our next row on the grid. This is going to be our car starting 13th in GT. All the rest of the cars now are GT category cars. And in the number 12, Hawk Performance Nissan GTR, the rookie Tim Bell, starting in the 12th spot. He drives the Global Motorsports Group Porsche 997 Cup car, number 44, Newport Beach, California's Brent Holden. Starting 11th overall in GT. Out of Long Beach, California, he bicycles from his home here to the track. He is your hometown boy. The Racing for Our Heroes Loctite Porsche 911 GT3, number 85, Craig Stanton. Starting 10th overall in GT, in the United Steel Supply, Spectre Resources, Audi R8 LMS, out of Westlake Village, California, it's the number 32 of Brett Curtis. Starting in the 9th spot, it is the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Mercedes-Benz AMG SLS GT3 machine, an incredible-looking car in the hands of a great driver out of Boston, Massachusetts, Mr. Tim Pappas. And you'll notice on the front of that car, folks, they've got a big decal. Being from Boston, that says, "Be strong." And that's their response to the bombings in Boston. Cheer that car on. Starting in the 8th spot, the Hawk Performance Chevrolet Corvette, an immensely talented driver, comes in 6th in the points. Mike Skeen out of Charlotte, North Carolina, number 2. Starting in the 7th spot, he is a former winning here. In fact, the defending winner, won here last year in the Cadillac Racing CTS VR, a former champion as well. Welcome back, Andy Pilgrim in the number 8 Caddy. Starting in the 6th spot overall, he drives the number 08 Spider Lasso Global Motorsports Group Audi R8 LMS, the number 08 of Alex Welch. Starting in the 5th spot overall, the Cadillac Racing CTS VR, a gentleman who has had so much success here on the streets of Long Beach in sports cars in the past and comes in as your reigning champion. Make some noise for the legendary number 3, Johnny O'Connell. Starting in the 4th spot out of Los Angeles, California, in the Stand organization Merchant Services Audi R8 LMS, fielded by Global Motorsports Group, the number 24 of Duncan Endy. Starting in the 3rd spot overall, a 4-time champion in this series, a legendary street fighter, but ironically never a win. Poles and fast laps, but never a win. Here at Long Beach, he wants to rectify that today. He drives the K-Pac Racing Volvo number 6 out of Gainesville, Georgia, Randy Popst. And we go to your front row. Starting 2nd in another of the K-Pac Racing Volvo S60s. He's out of Denver, Colorado, comes in 2nd in the points with a win, and then he had a mechanical issue that kept him from coming out with a possible point lead. Nonetheless, he is 2nd in the points, the very quick number 9 of Alex Figge. And to our overall poll, and folks, I suspect you're going to make some noise because he is a California boy, he is a Southern California boy, And the team is based just up the road. It's Global Motorsports Group and Mobil 1, the Audi R8 LMS, with a new track record for your points leader, number 14, James Safronis, in that beautiful Audi sitting right up front. So that is our starting lineup for the event. We want to say a huge thanks, of course, to the folks from Pirelli. They have stepped up in so many ways for this series. One, in becoming the official tire provider, and these Pirelli P0 slicks have taken this to a completely new level, certainly, in terms of racing. And we also have them as the title sponsor. They were amazing in what they did a couple of years ago to step up as the title sponsor of the series, and in their partnership, we have gone on to even greater heights. So big welcome and a thank you to them, as well as to all of our partners, and we'll be hearing a little bit more from the guys at Pirelli in just a minute. Real quickly, I'm joined here by Scott McKee, who is the Director of Public Relations for Kia Motors America. You're presenting this great race. And Scott, first of all, huge thanks to Kia for stepping up and being such an integral part of this marvelous race weekend, a legendary one at that. And it's just good to see you again, my friend.
It was great to see you again, Greg. And it's a huge thanks to World Challenge for putting on such an amazing event. Pirelli, obviously, for title sponsoring the series. We're thrilled to be part of the series. And this is our home race. Our home base is just down the road in Irvine, so we've got 200 people here cheering on the number 38 and number 36, and we want to wish everybody a safe race today.
A couple of good guns, Mark Wilkins and Nick Janssen. It's going to be fun watching Nick come up through the pack.
Absolutely. I'm hoping he's going to be able to keep some tires underneath him, but it's going to be exciting as he comes through the field.
It will be indeed. Nick Janssen, pretty special indeed. Thanks again so much. Great to see you, bud. Also here, by the way, from Kia Motors America is their PR supervisor, product and communication and motorsports. That's Mike Ofiera. So nice to have him here as well. We've also got representatives from so many of our various supporters and partners of this program, and that's great. We're very happy about that. I'm going to step in here. Giving that very special command today is going to be the Vice President of Marketing and Original Equipment for Pirelli, Tom Gravalos, and it is so nice to have you here, Tom. It's just great, and we're looking forward to a wonderful weekend.
Well, it is great to be here, and we are also looking forward to this great weekend and this great race, and it's always a pleasure to come to Long Beach. The fans are wonderful, the weather is excellent, and it is my pleasure and honor on behalf of Kia Motors.
So the interesting thing is obviously a few years ago you guys made a commitment to this series, and it has been a phenomenal explosion of growth for this program, and I think a lot of that due to Pirelli.
Well, we along with all our partners in the Pirelli World Challenge are enjoying watching the growth. It's fun to watch the teams develop the cars, come out here and give the fans an exciting race. This year we've got 40 cars in the field, and that's really all that will fit, and it should be just exciting race. The fans that are here for this will enjoy 50 minutes of action-packed racing, and we are delighted to be here.
Well, the great thing is, of course, with these Pirellis, the guys up front, they know they can run hard, and the guys in the back, like we were talking about, Nick Janssen, is going to be able to seriously push these tires and make them work to come up through the pack. That's what makes this series so great. Intense competition, over 15 manufacturers represented on the grid in these two classes alone, all running these great tires. It's in the name, Pirelli World Challenge, a global representation, and these Pirellis powering them all, and the battling that they're able to do now with these tires to be able to race hard through the entirety of the event produces some absolutely amazing stuff. We're going to be coming to you in about 2 minutes for that special command. Enjoy some of this California sunshine. It's going to be great. Absolutely fantastic. So it's absolutely fantastic. We are looking forward to it. How about it? You guys looking forward to seeing some Pirelli World Challenge racing on the beach? Yep, already interviewed. All right, well, they are just about to get ready here. We're just less than 2 minutes away now, I think, from that very special command. That is a marvelous look and feel. 2 minutes now, the official call. It is now time to say officially, clear the grid. All non-essential personnel, and right now that is strictly SCCA officials and our dignitaries, please clear the grid. Want to say a huge thanks to the folks from Cadillac, who of course provide the pace and safety vehicles here. Of course, Toyota, it is the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, so they have the lead pace position as well. What's going to happen, folks, they're going to release these cars for their installation lap, essentially a warm-up lap. Let them come around, they will resume those spots, then they'll start watching the board, and when the signal is given, within 5 seconds, they are going to light these engines up, light these Pirelli P0 slicks up with a standing start, hammering down into turn 1. All right, we see the lights are on the pace car, so just getting so close to being able to release these cars for the go. The officials are ready. 1 minute to the start, so we're going to step in and get ready here. Pace cars are underway. Once again, you folks ready? You look good. You enjoying the sun? Yeah, I'll tell you, it's different from last year. This is so fantastic. We have got the picture postcard here today for this race at Long Beach. You guys just watched a great IZOD IndyCar race. You've had a number of great races this weekend. The American Le Mans Series presented by Tequila Patron unfolding. That's what makes this one so great. And it is now getting to my time to throw it back over to you, Tom, for that very, very special command and send them on their way. We appreciate it.
On behalf of Kia Motors North America, Optima Battery, and Pirelli Tires, racers, start your engines.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Where am I going?
Bruce, I did. All right, once again, we want to welcome all of our fans listening online at world-challengetv.com. This is round number 3 of the Pirelli World Challenge presented by Kia. We're ready to start our field here with 37 different cars in 2 different classes. Our GT field will be leading, followed by GTS. Go ahead and look at our Motul race analysis. This is a 1.968 mile, 11-turn street course. It's about 72 degrees out right now. Beautiful Chamber of Commerce day here in Long Beach for the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. 31 laps or 50 minutes, whichever comes first. Our Pirelli storylines presented by Volvo is that there's not been a repeat winner at this track in the 8 years that we've come here for the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. So can Andy Pilgrim in the Cadillac CTS-V or Jack Baldwin in his Porsche Cayman S make it 2 in a row here at Long Beach? Cars are rolling off for their presentation lap. They'll come on back and get ready for a standing start. If you have not seen a standing start for the Pirelli World Challenge, all 37 cars will be stopped on the front stretch. The red lights will go on. When the red lights turn off, we will be underway for round number 3. Thank you so much to Greg Creamer down on the pre-grid there, giving us our starting lineup. He'll be up here in the booth shortly. Got to work his way down from the start-finish straight. We're actually really great location here for the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. We're up in the grandstands, overlooking the front stretch just outside of the hairpin. Couldn't ask for a better day here. Thank you so much to these great fans here in Long Beach sitting around and waiting. We really appreciate the IZOD IndyCar as well for the pre-race. Thank you so much for the pre-show here as we open the closing race here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach with the Pirelli World Challenge. Round number 3, presented by Kia. James Safranis there in his Global Motorsports Group, Mobil 1 Audi on the pole, followed right by Alex Figge there in his Volvo S60, Randy Popst, and then Duncan Indy in his Acura. So watch those the two Volvos off the start. We always mention that. The other cars start, the Volvos launch. Also, if you're sitting at home listening live at world-challengetv.com, make sure you download the app on your iPhone or your iPad or your Android phone, Race Monitor. It is live timing, so you can have all the live timing there from Race Monitor. Appreciate everything that Race Monitor does. If you want to go ahead and follow us at Twitter at WC Racing, always use that hashtag PirelliWC, and follow our Facebook at Pirelli World Challenge. We have our Hit the Road Facebook photo contest for Pirelli. It's a great job. Pirelli P0 tires, all these race cars are on, so your chance to tweet to Pirelli our Hit the Road contest. We appreciate all Pirelli does there. It's a $1,000 prize from Pirelli to find your favorite photo, put it on the Pirelli North American Facebook page. Tell us about your favorite road trip, all the memories that you have for that. The winner will receive that $1,000 grand prize as well as a prize back from Pirelli. a lot of other great prizes from Pirelli. We appreciate everything they do. Stick around a little bit later. We do have some Car Town giveaways. We have another Pirelli prize giveaway as well. We'll give those codes away a little bit later in our show. As cars are coming up here to grid to start round number 3. All 37 makes. Once again, we talk about our pole sitter there, Andy Lee, in that Best IT, Bob Bondurant Chevy Camaro on the pole. The outside of the pole will be Kevin Gleason in his Napleton Porsche Cayman. He's followed by 8-time Pirelli World Challenge champion P.D. Cunningham in his Acura TSX real-time racing HPD. Lawson Aschenbach on the outside of row number 2 in his Black Dog Motorsport Chevy Camaro. That's your first 2 rows in GT and GTS. There's our official Cadillac safety car. It's one of those safety vehicles, that beautiful Escalade. We sure hope that we never have to use it. Better to have it and not need it. That's our Cadillac official safety vehicle of the Pirelli World Challenge, as well as our official pace car. Coming around here, they'll get all the cars gridded up here in the back. You'll see the green flag waving from the back. As soon as that happens, within 5 to 10 seconds, we will get the lights off to start round number 3. There's the green flag. And Greg's here now, so we are ready to go green.
Yeah, we just got word over the radio. Back of the grid is prepped. Lights are on. 5 seconds, folks. And we're going racing here at the Roar by the Shore. Round 3 of the Pirelli World Challenge. We are green.
Oh, and the SLS Mercedes, the Tim Pappas, stops on the track.
And one of the Volvos, a horrible start. And I think that car may be wounded. Something has gone wrong. However, leading down into the first turn, it is the other Volvo. They are so strong. And a big move by Mike Skeen in the Hawk Performance Corvette down underneath and picking up a spot on one of the Cadillacs.
Yeah, we talk about the Volvo. You could bet money that K-Pax Racing Volvo S60 will be in first place. That car has red mirrors. That's Alex Figge.
You bet. He has been just phenomenal this season. He showed a lot last year at a couple of the events, and he has come alive big time. But look who also got a great start. That's the Cadillac taking a look outside, inside, now back outside. And Sofronis, that quick, is in full defense mode.
Yeah, Johnny O'Connell going back on the inside now in that Cadillac. Going to try to make the outpice. Looking for the over and under out here in turn number 5.
One of the things that Sofronis, oh, no, he got it done. Boy, did he read that beautifully. Now it's a straight-up drag race, and he decided, nope, I'm going to lose a little time. I'm going to tuck back in here, and then maybe see if he's going to try and pop, use the brakes. Not quite, but he did get Sofronis to turn in pretty early there, Jeff, and that's he's starting to work him over. But Sofronis has told us a few times, he said, this Audi is an amazing car in that it seems to get better the longer the run goes, particularly relative to the other cars. So he just wants to stay close. But look at Figge escape.
Yeah, Figge really pulled away, so that means it was Randy Popes that had that problem. So we'll have to get word on what's with Randy, see if we can see him on the track. But Randy Popes, unfortunately, unable to get underway here.
And Peter Cunningham is slotted up into second behind Andy Lee in that GTS battle. And I don't know, I did not see Gleason go by. I'm going to keep a close eye on the monitors. He is dropping down the monitors quickly. So Kevin Gleason apparently, there he is at virtually the back of the pack. So I didn't see him have a problem on the standing start. So, oh, look at this, another big move is Skeen doing some hunting right now. And the Cadillac of O'Connell has gone by Sofronis, and here comes Mike Skeen.
Yeah, look at Mike Skeen in that Hawk Performance Chevy Corvette on the outside of James Sofronis now. Johnny O'Connell into second, hounded by Andy Pilgrim now. Mike Skeen's going to have to play a very delicate chess game there. Doesn't want to lose that fourth place, but definitely wants to get up on that podium spot.
And Andy trying to do that wide in, tight out, get to the throttle early, but Skeen been around the block a few times since that one coming and defended on it nicely. Now you can see, though, that both Sofronis and Skeen running right down the middle of the track. They do not want Andy to be able to get through here. And if you can defend well into 9, since that change of direction through 10A into 11 is fairly tight, you can make that defense work. And so far, that's what it is. The problem is, all of this defensive driving is allowing Alex Figge to check out. He has done exactly that in that K-Pax Volvo.
Yeah, he sure has, but Johnny O'Connell's trying to run him down. We don't have a good shot on that, but now that Johnny's in that open air in that Cadillac CTS-V, it's got his sights set on Alex Figge now. As the battle still for third, James Sofronis, Mike Skeen, Andy Pilgrim.
And the well-traveled Lawson Aschenbach, I think, now has moved up into third in the GTS category, courtesy certainly of Gleason's issues, but having a very strong run as well. And so it's Lee, then Cunningham, then Aschenbach. Then a great run by Jack Baldwin early. right in the hunt as well. And then the number 27 Hewlett-Packard, the HP Racers Group, Adobe Road Winery, Aston Martin of Brandon Davis.
Yeah, how about that for Brandon Davis moving up through there? There's a great shot of Andy Lee in that Best IT, Bob Bondurant Chevy Camaro. Spare motor here, blew it up in media day last week, put the bullet in that he had last year. Hey, that motor won 4 races, no slouch there. There is the Tim Pappas Mercedes SLS AMG as well. Tim from the Black Swan Racing back underway, but he's at the back of the GT field.
That's unfortunate. You mentioned that he had that issue, and now he's got his work cut out for him. And let's take a look here and see if we can find where our guy Nick Janssen, starting back in the pack. He has already moved up a number of spots. He is sitting in the 28th overall position, so in just a couple of laps, he has really made it work. This is going to be an interesting dynamic here in GTS, Jeff, because out front you've got Andy Lee in that Crown 7 Best IT Bondurant Camaro. Then you've got a Acura TSX that runs very well as Pappas brings that car down pit lane. And then you've got Lawson Aschenbach in another Camaro. Be interesting to see how that's going to pan out. Tough break for Black Swan and Tim Pappas.
I tell you what, Andy Lee just went by. That motor does not sound good. I bet you P.D. Cunningham's going to get him in the next lap. And sure enough, Peter gets him by there. We have a new leader now, P.D. Cunningham at Acura TSX. I think Andy's motor's hurt.
Wow, it has just been one of those weeks for that team. When the car runs, it's clearly very quick, getting it up on pole, but they just had that freakish engine issue you talked about, and sometimes that just begets other problems as you're thrashing to do changes, and maybe that's what's unfolded. It is still Alex Figge up front, and he has himself a healthy margin at this point over O'Connell in that Safrona Skeen Pilgrim war, and it is a good one. And here comes Pilgrim down underneath Skeen, and looks like he's going to make it work. Yep, Skeen realized if I try and push to this, I'm going to get pushed right into that wall, and he backed out of that Hawk Performance Corvette.
Yeah, but how about looking back there, lurking right behind him, Alex Welch now in that Audi R8 from Global Motorsports Group. Great run for him, that Lasso car, currently sitting in 6th. That's his best run so far. And watch out for Craig Stanton. He said the first 6 laps is going to be the best that Loctite Racing for Our Heroes Porsche 911 is going to be for Craig Stanton.
Yeah, this one means an awful lot for him, you know that, so it's going to be fun to see just what he might be able to make happen here. We've got, yeah, it sounded just a little off, but it's still holding him up front, isn't it?
Yeah, he's still there, and I do apologize about saying that it was PD in first there. Andy Lee still holding him up.
You know what I think it may have been? I think as Andy went by, we had the Black Swan car going into the pits on the rev limiter, and I think that sound, because it caught me out as well. So issues there.
Very well. Andy Lee still in the lead right now, currently leading by 1.6 seconds. It is Alex Figge. 3 seconds now. He pulled another half a second over Johnny O'Connell.
That is just, Alex Figge has just come alive this year. You know, obviously Randy Popes has spent a lot of years driving these Volvos, these turbocharged all-wheel drive Capex Volvos. Alex Figge really, as the development came on that second car in his first year, he only got sporadic rides. And now that he's been able to really race this thing a number of times, we are seeing what Alex Figge is all about, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, Alex Figge pulling out over the lead now. I tell you what, he's definitely going to be one of the dogs. We see Brett Curtis coming down to pit lane. It was a black flag. I believe it's a jump start for Brett Curtis and his Global Motorsports Group Audi R8 as he comes slowly down pit lane.
Meanwhile, watching this battle, and Andy Lee, yeah, it's a pretty good engine at this point as he's continuing to just ease away from P.D. Cunningham, it appears, and Lawson Aschenbach has no answer for P.D. right now at this point. And this is great, seeing what's going on here. Then it's Baldwin, and then it's Brandon Davis running 5th right now in that GTS category in the debut of the Aston Martin GT Vantage GT4 program here in this series. Well done, but we know that Brandon, pretty savvy pilot behind the wheel.
Yeah, looking at Brett Holden there in that Porsche 911 GT3 car, another car out of the Global Motorsports Group stable. He's just trying to catch his way back up through the GT there. So splitting Andy Lee and P.D. Cunningham right now, currently 1.7 second gap.
That was pretty funny in the paddock here before we came out. Saw James Safronis over there in the Global Motorsports Group compound with all those cars sitting there. there were a couple of open spots, and I just wanted to walk up and go, slacker, you got 2 more spots you can fill here. It's just amazing what GMG has done. And I have to say, they have said one of the reasons that they've been able to really populate these Audi R8 LMSs here and be so successful is he said the Audi North American customer sport racing program is just superb in the assist that they give these teams.
Yeah, no doubt here. 5 cars, of course, Jeff Courtney Racing having an issue there, not able to make the race. But yeah, 5 Audi R8s. Great to see that presence from Audi and what they're doing for all their customer-supported programs.
Again, folks, this is 31 laps, 50 minutes maximum event time. If we stay green, should have no problem getting those 31 laps in. And so far, I don't want to jinx it, but we have been pretty darn clean at this point. Figge, O'Connell, Safronis, then Pilgrim, then Mike Skeen. That's your top 5. The 08 of Welch, that Spider Lasso R8 sits in the 6th spot. Craig Stanton has hustled that Racing for Our Heroes Loctite Porsche, number 85, up in the 7th. Duncan Endy up in the 8th. And the number 24, Merchant Services, Standorg Audi. And then the rookie, Tim Bell, doing a nice job in that number 12, Hawk Performance Nissan GTR.
Looking at our GT battle here. Petey Cunningham now closing the gap on Andy Lee. He dropped that difference from 3 seconds down to a 1.5 seconds, and he's probably within a second now. Currently in 3rd is Lawson Aschenbach in that Black Dog Chevy Camaro with Jack Baldwin. Into 4th, Brandon Davis now in 5th. Up to him, 2-time winner here at Long Beach, stepping into that Aston Martin GT4. Top 5 so far. Great run for them in that HP TRG Racers group.
Yeah, just superb what he's been able to achieve here. And watch what's going on in GTS. We've got PD closing in on our overall race leader, or our class leader in Andy Lee, but Baldwin is starting to close in on Lawson Aschenbach just a little bit as well. And that could get very interesting in a hurry here. And we could have 2 really good battles unfolding in the GTS category.
Yeah, I know with the Camaro of Andy Lee, that car is going to be a lot harder on those Pirelli P0s. Petey Cunningham, a lot better momentum car versus point and shoot. Going to be able to, Pete, 8-time champion. I guarantee you sit there going, okay, kid, go ahead. I'm going to stay right here and pressure you, and we'll make a run for it at the end. But remember, folks, 31 laps or 50 minutes, whatever comes first. We have 24 laps to go. As Jack Baldwin now on the inside of his teammate Buzz McCall, he's still sitting in that 4th position. We never had a 2-time winner here.
Yeah,
back to back. Jack Baldwin's in 4th. We'll see if he can make it happen.
It's interesting. Petey Cunningham's last lap was almost 1/2 second faster though than Andy Lee's. And boy, we got some interesting action unfolding here. There's Brandon Davis. Tim Pappas made the stop at the Black Swan AMG SLS Gullwing. And that is back out now and going after him, but he's also got some company there. Meanwhile, the Cadillac, look at this. This is now the Nissan, and Figge trying to get through that group and makes it. But O'Connell has closed up a lot of ground here. Figge got held up in this lap traffic. That's part and parcel of multi-class racing, Jeff.
Yeah, it sure is. You have to be a chess player to work your way through here, and it's going to be who is the better chess player. And you saw Johnny O'Connell get held up a little bit. Figge got held up a little bit, so it's going to be hit or miss here as they're trying to get past the BMW of Mark Clinton now. That's going to slot here. Not what Johnny O'Connell wants right here. That definitely held Johnny O'Connell. Figge, you see clear track in front.
And he did that nice wide entry to cut down underneath, get to the throttle soon. He's now by Clinton, and it looks like they might have just, well, as they say that, they're going to be coming up on some more traffic. But that's O'Connell now can really let it fly just a little bit. And now it's Safronis who's getting held up in that lap traffic. And you've got to be extremely, it's counterintuitive for a race car driver to say you've got to be patient, but you've got to pick your spots. Like right there, Safronis had to dive bomb the brake, and here comes Andy Pilgrim to maybe take a run, and it was just because Gaples didn't know he was there. Gaples turned into the corner, and Safronis had to jump on the brakes. In multi-class racing, the doors close as fast as they open.
Just like that, you can slam the door. You saw that Audi almost come to a complete stop because of that. That's what these drivers have to deal with, and like we said before, it's a delicate, delicate chess match.
And this is going to be fun now because Safronis, got a little crossed up as he went to the brake heading into the fountain. As he's feeling the pressure here. There you go, nice job. And now Clennon, nope, he did not realize that Andy was right behind that R8. And so he went to the apex. And they're told in the drivers' meetings for the GTS class, they said, be predictable, drive the normal line. And if it holds us up, that holds us up, but we'd rather not think you're helping us, go for something, and then have you do something unusual. So, again, Andy was a bit behind James. James got held up, then Andy got held up, and at the end of the exchange, pretty where they were.
Yeah, you talk about that being predictable. There's nothing worse as a faster driver to be in front of the car that's weaving around the track, not knowing where he's going to be. If you stay on the racing line, I can pick my place where to pass you, no problem.
The last lap, not the one they're running now, but the last lap, Mike Skeen was the fastest guy out there. He really threw down a good one. Problem is he's lost touch just a little bit to this group. Back in GTS, still Lee, Cunningham, Aschenbach, and then Baldwin. For Baldwin now, he's got 2 GTS cars between himself and Aschenbach, so he's got that little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, no doubt there. As we look back for our GTS leader now here, Andy Lee in that Best IT, Bob Bondurant, Chevy Camaro, Petey Cunningham behind him, getting passed now by Tim Pappas in that Mercedes. But boy, Andy Lee doing a great job with that motor. You know, this is the backup motor, but excellent job for him. Petey Cunningham now getting under pressure from Lawson Aschenbach. Petey was held up in traffic a little bit. Now Lawson right on the back bumper. We'll have to see if now Lawson, look at this, under braking. See that car weaving all over the ABS. He is right behind Petey Cunningham.
Yeah, this is just going to be great. This is part of what makes World Challenge so great, the world part. You've got an American muscle car chasing a Japanese compact, sports compact, Super Tour. I mean, this is some fascinating stuff. And the balance of performance that Jeff Carter and his gang here are trying to effect on these cars is showing very, very smartly here. And again, you can't do anything about traffic. You can't legislate that. You can't do anything with it. We just get the cars close, let these guys race, and we are watching some of the very best in the business in sports cars, Jeff.
Yeah, battle for second now. Look at Austin Aschenbach all over him. As you see Robert Stout and that Scion need to get out of the way there. Not sure if that's going to hold up Petey Cunningham. Not what he wants to see, but I know Robert will do a great job of staying out of everybody's way. That Scion FRS still a development. Great job from Scion. There you go. Like I told you there, past champion, knows how to deal with traffic in that Scion.
Yeah, there are certain times when you exit a corner and you know exactly where the guys behind you are. You can just move over and let them go. And Robert, as you said, a former champion, knows his way around this track, certainly with his win. And he is awfully good at judging things. And he knows we haven't really run much here. We need to just keep this thing alive and get some track time. A lot of smoke from somebody.
Looks like that's Dane Moxell, I believe. There had an incident in the qualifying this morning on the front end there. They were in the pits working that car hard to get it back underway. No, I'm sorry, that's Artie Topi. I apologize.
Yeah,
Leo Capaldi Racing there. So it looked like the reflections from Dane, so I apologize to that team. But boy, look at Lawson Aschenbach. Boy, does that Acura get a good run down the straightaway. It seems like better under braking for the Camaro, but more momentum, like we said, for that Acura TSX.
Yeah, it just carries great mid-corner speed. Just one being front-wheel drive versus rear wheel, and also a little lighter, a little more nimble, as it's not a V8, it's the 6. So it gets to run slightly less weight. But look at Austin Aschenbach coming from way back. I tell you, I think he just came from Huntington Beach to make that pass.
Wow, how about that? All over the ABS, down on the brakes. Second place now, Lawson Aschenbach in his Black Dog Chevy Camaro. Hey, I am glad that he got some sleep, because here he is now sitting in second place. Petey Cunningham into third.
Scary to think if he'd have been well rested.
Yeah, I guess so. He might be battling for the GT win right now.
Absolutely. You know, we got a slight glimmer while we were looking at the 2 green and white entries from the Always Evolving Performance team. What that team did to get Roger Rodas back out on track, pretty remarkable. This is their first appearance in World Challenge, and they had that car, had a big, big shunt, and they had another car in the shop. They went all the way back, got it, but it was not ready to go. Brought it here, prepped it, and decaled it and wrapped it. Said, if we're going to do this, this car is going to look right. And you've got to give that team an awful lot of credit for what they've done.
Yeah, they sure did come in. That's actually Paul Walker from Fast and the Furious 6. His buddy Roger calls him and says, hey, can I borrow your car? I need you to bring it over. So sure enough, they got the car over here, took all the race parts, got it on, literally got that car finished, stickered up right before this session, putting some good laps. Brand new team, good job for that.
Boy, Alex Figge just almost overshot the hairpin, ran real wide, missed the apex a little bit, and that car was skating when he came in. He knows, even though he's got that margin right now, he has got to maintain this margin over are closely pursuing Johnny O'Connell. He's got to do it, so he is still driving that thing as hard as he possibly can.
Yeah, I got word from race control. Rick Boucher and his Nissan Sparco SPL Parts 370Z had an impact in turn 1 tires. He got the car cleared out of the way, so glad to see that he is okay.
Yeah.
Sad for him as well in that
Nissan. Very much so. That's unfortunate, but again, great for him to be able to get that car cleared out. It looks like we've got a special guest here in the booth, and it's a driver we'd much rather see on track, but unfortunately had a bit of an incident. It's Tommy Dreese, who of course is from Hollywood. Tommy running Epic the movie in the Corvette, and Tommy, you had yourself a little bit of a hit early in the weekend. The car just damaged too badly to continue, but nice to have you here in the booth. What are you thinking of the race so far?
Oh, the race is great, man. You know, it's hard to be sitting here with you. You know, I love you and everything. But no, you know, yesterday we were trying to push the car over its limit. You can do that at a, you know, permanent road course. You do it here, it bites you big time, and it did. But, you know, the guys here watching this race outside, now I know why I love this series so much.
It's furious, man. It's just absolutely glorious, this multi-class racing. And one of the things, and you've experienced this, you know, you run a lot of series that have multi-classes, whether it's sprint like this or endurance, and you see a gap, you think it's there, and suddenly that door is shut. You've really got to be thinking corners ahead, if not even laps, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you notice, I think it was one of the Cadillacs were right on Sofronis, and Sofronis made a pretty good move over on Pine, waited to the last minute, and he just made a gap for himself for about 4 seconds, and that's pretty tough. I think Pilgrim's behind him, right?
Absolutely, and the thing is, you know, depending upon where you are in this track, but if you don't get that pass done in 1, you probably have to follow him all the way up into turn 5 or that run to 6. You can lose a lot of time. It's tough to therefore say, don't stick the nose in and get it rubbed off onto the wall.
Absolutely, you know, these guys are out there. It's a multi-class. They both have the right to the track, and the overtaking car has the responsibility. And you know, if you put if the GT car puts one of the GTS cars, you know, you can lose a few tenths of a second, or you can be coming to say hi to SCCA when you get in.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break on the web. We're going to stop for just a minute, but we're going to, of course, continue the call here on the PA. So, wait a minute. We're going to hang tight here because we got a problem for Mark Clennon. Got some smoke going once again. The safety car is being called out on track. We are going to probably have to go full course yellow. And for Mark Clennon, a problematic start in that beautiful Champ BMW. And it looks like he's found the barriers there, Jeff.
Yeah, an unfortunate issue for that. Had motor problems, and man, I hate to see that from Mark Clennon.
Yeah.
Truly a grassroots effort with this M3, the Schwamp BMW Premier Copier machine, and looks like it's just the steam from the water. Probably broke the radiator. No fire there.
Yeah, that's great to see. The camera was in so tight, always the smoke that it pulled out. Now, the interesting thing is we have not seen the full course caution. Now it comes out. Full course yellow has come out. And at this point, Johnny O'Connell, he wants by right now. He wanted to get by that Swisher Pontiac Solstice, the Swisher Racing entry, because he did not want to have that car in between them. We are full course caution. The complexion of this race now is going to change immensely at this point, because as we said, this is a timed event, and we are now closing in on about a half hour to go. So while we are going to be under the full course caution on the web, we're going to step away for just a moment here from round 3 of the Pirelli World Challenge Series. It is the Pirelli World Challenge at Long Beach, presented by Kia. So while we're in break on the web, you can see right there what just happened to Mark Clennon. He actually ran wide in turn 1, unfortunately missed those protective tires, just got by it and kissed the wall, came back across. So he got both corners on that, Jeff. The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly sports car wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. Welcome back to Long Beach, everybody. We are under that full course caution. Things have continued Mark Clennon is out of the car. That's the good news. Climbed out under his own once the safety crews got there and he knew he was protected. That's a smart move. So they pulled him out and said, all right, let's get him out. Hey, there you go. The crowd enjoying this one. Nice job. Nice job. Long Beach fans, you guys rock. Absolutely. So we're just under the caution. We're going to be doing a quick wave by. We're going to let them come by. That's one of the rules, is if there are cars interspersed, we try and let them get through and clear so that we do not end up having lap cars in the mix. And as we're talking about it, you can see just going by again is Robert Stout in that beautiful Scion FRS with the Lucas Oil E3 spark plug support on it and TRD. And that car is just continuing to run. This is great news for this team. They're finally getting some viable track time to really learn what this program is all about.
And it is. It's one of those things that every session's a new session. It's a testing. Unfortunately, we are under racing, but it is testing. And boy, how about these great fans here at Long Beach?
There's none better. They're just phenomenal. And it's absolutely great to see. By the way, I made this comment before. I want to reiterate it. On the front end of Tim Pappas's at Black Swan, Mercedes-Benz ALMS GT3, that beautiful gull-wing car, you do see the sticker on that car that says "Be Strong," and they asked us to really mention that. That team has members in it that had family and friends that were hurt in those bombings, and they said, we want the world to know that's our reply. You be strong. And they said to keep everybody in mind out there, and we wanted to make sure we did that in them. They've certainly earned it.
Yeah, Boston-based team. They had the black stripe. They changed it from the green on the the hood. So great job for Tim Pappas and Black Swan Racing. A great addition to the Pirelli World Challenge.
Fantastic. It's great to have them on board. As we went to break and as we went to yellow, let's just run through where we sit right now. It is Alex Figge, the number 9 K-Pax Volvo, leading overall and in GT. The number 3 Cadillac CTSVR of Johnny O'Connell next up. The number 14 Global Motorsports Group Mobil 1 Audi in the 3rd spot. The number 8 Cadillac CTSVR of Andy Pilgrim next up. Then the 08 of Alex Welch. That's the Spider Lasso Global Motorsports Group Audi R8 LMS. Then in the 6th spot is the number 2 Hawk Performance Corvette of Mike Skeen. 7th is the number 85 Racing for Our Heroes Loctite Porsche of Craig Stanton. In the 8th spot, it is the number 24 Stand Merchant Services Audi R8 LMS from Global Motorsports Group of Duncan Endy. 9th, the rookie, number 12, Tim Bell, in the Hawk Performance Nissan GTSR. And in the 10th spot is the number 32. Good run by Brett Curtis in that Spectra Resources United Steel Supply GMG Audi. Why don't you take us through where we sit in GTS?
Currently leading right now, that's going to be the number 20 Best IT Bob Bondurant Crown 7 Camaro from Andy Lee. Lawson Aschenbach second, and that Black Dog Performance Chevy Camaro. 3rd place, 8-time champion Petey Cunningham in that HPD Acura Real-Time TSX. Jack Baldwin now in that Motul Stop Tech Porsche Cayman. Brandon Davis, brand new in that Aston Martin GT4, sitting in 5th. Nick Asayan, the teammate there to Petey Cunningham, in his Acura in 6th. Mark Wilkins, how about that? Presented by Kia Race here at Long Beach. He's sitting in the 7th in his Optima. Lou Gelati, the LG Motorsports Chevy Camaro, in 8th. Damian Faulkner, the teammate to Brandon Davis in his Aston Martin GT4, sitting in 9th. Brad Adams, the Houdat Yo MTV Raps Boss Mustang 302, in 10th.
Yeah, and that's a great story as well of Damian Faulkner. He's raced here in the streets of Long Beach in Indy Lights. Currently is one of the guns in the American Le Mans Series GTC class, and he is absolutely superb. And having him step behind the wheel of that Aston Martin, and they got a great sponsor package on that car as well from the folks at Vizio and Hulu Plus, and it's great to have that addition to the series as well. What you got, Jeff?
Well, we got some great new products here for the Pirelli World Challenge. I want to welcome Rick McDonald from TeamGrounded.com. We're all wearing the Live the Brand, Wear the Band, lifestyle bands here. A great product that they have here. All the drivers had them at our autograph session. We want to welcome Rick and his company here for the Pirelli World Challenge. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it, and glad you can show up there, and make sure you check that out. Always check out TeamGrounded.com for that too. It'll get them be a whole lifestyle there. Live the brand, wear the band.
That's awesome. It's always good to have extra new partners to this championship. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. And we appreciate everybody coming up and doing that. We continue to be under caution, though. I'm thinking that we're going to be hopefully have that car cleared in relatively short order. So once we get those vehicles off, once the wave by starts, that's a pretty good indication that we're getting close to going back. And I think the lights might be out on that pace car. I couldn't really tell from that angle but we're going to know soon enough. Let's hope it is.
Yeah, we'll see if
because we are going to be coming up, and if we are, we'll have 20 minutes or nope, one more lap. One more lap. Lights are on.
Yep. Yep. You'll see the Toyota Camry pace car there pull up to speed now. They're calling him to speed up here. We'll get one lap. There's going to be 11 laps to go when they get the green flag. Remember, it's or 50 minutes, so we have right at 20 minutes left or 11 laps. It's going to come down to see what happens here.
So it went from a sprint to a shootout, essentially.
Sure.
It's that close.
Well, folks, if you play the Facebook Cartown game, we had a big announcement Friday. Cartown gave away or released a new car, a brand new Kia Optima from Cartown. So once again, this is the Pirelli World Challenge presented by Kia to have a Kia Optima giveaway, but here's your chance to win one of the Cartown Town games. So if you are on Twitter, you have to follow @WC Racing, use the hashtag Pirelli WC. Here's your question. How many years has the Pirelli World Challenge, of course, hashtag Pirelli WC @WC Racing, been a part of the historic Toyota Long Beach Grand Prix?
How many years?
I'm not going to give you the answer.
No,
the
that's
first
the
one that
question.
answers
How
does
many
it.
years?
Okay, how many years?
I'm confirming the
Tweet
question.
your answers @WC Racing, hashtag Pirelli WC for your chance to win the Cartown car.
No pressure, folks, but this is how much do you love World Challenge? If you know this answer, you're a fan.
That's true. Yeah, the
You
first
love
one
it.
that does this. No internet looking. I'm interested to see. I'm going to start. Well, I get the tweets. I can see them, so I'll know how great fans we have out here, and we have some of the best in all of motorsports.
We do, certainly right here as well. So this is going to be interesting here. And we got, we're still waiting to get confirmation. And they had asked the pace car to pick the pace up. And so the last EV vehicle that was on track, I think, is in. Let's see what's going to happen this time. Lights are out. Pace car should make the move down into pit lane. Let's see if it does. Yes! We're going back to racing here, folks. Alex Figge bringing him up. Look for the green.
And there it is.
Oh, man. And Johnny O'Connell, this is great. A turbo 5-cylinder, a V8, a V10. This is awesome. This is what it's all about. Watch him down into turn 1, folks.
Yeah, but look at Petey Cunningham got around Andy Lee. Now Andy Lee's under attack from Lawson. Now Lawson and Lee side by side for PTS second place.
Lawson's through. He made that work. Oh, then Lawson almost got into the back of Mike Skeen. He had to dip the brake, and this is going to be a tough moment here. Alex Welch trying to sneak underneath Andy Lee, and at the last second, Andy, being the pro that he is, caught the nose of that car, opened the wheel up a little bit, and there was no contact. That's how you run traffic. When a guy is a little over-aggressive like Alex was, the driver that's passing, you can make little corrections and save both cars in contact. And Andy Lee, I'll tell you something special.
I'll tell you what, an instructor at the Bondurant School, you gave a driving lesson right there, my friend.
Yeah, he truly did. Now Alex can now pull out. He's gone around Lee. Now he can make the move, try and drive by these two cars. And the reason is with that caution, Alex was right in the top 5 in a fight. Uh-oh. Boy, that's a big plume of smoke.
That's Andy Lee right there, the left front of that tire. That suspension has collapsed. A failure on that Best IT Crown 7 Camaro. Oh, no, that is heartbreaking for that car.
Unbelievable, but look at what he does here. Finds a cutout, and he's going to self-clear. That is a classy act. Again, you know, that's the measure of somebody, isn't it? When things go wrong, if your first thought is about how can I not affect everybody else on that track, he continues to impress. Duncan Endy or Brett Curtis, one of the two.
Yeah, Duncan.
Making their way up. And up front, Alex Figge now. He's got those tires nice and cleaned up, and now he stretches the motion up just a little bit. Let's see, what was it? He's got it stretched out now to just over a second. So Figge doing what he needs to do right now. And Aschenbach, this is going to be fun because he's close again. Exiting the hairpin, Jeff.
Yeah, like we said, the momentum of the Acura gets off the hairpin a lot better than that Camaro, but the Camaro's got that straight line lead. Down Shoreline Boulevard into turn 1. Can Lawson Aschenbach try for the lead again in GTS?
Well, we've seen him come from a long ways back. Here he goes again. He's down to the inside, and again, this is an absolute outbreaking duel. Does he make the turn? He's through. Lawson Aschenbach, your leader on the streets of Long Beach. That was and Petey knew it was coming. And did you notice that Petey did not slam the door, did not block going in? That's the way Petey races. Is if you're good enough, make the pass, and I'll have to chase. Who is this?
That Tim Bell in the Hawk Performance Nissan GTR pulling off. There is a gap in the wall right there. He's going to pull over as best that he can. Maybe go off in the runoff area there.
All right, leaving that open here. Look at O'Connell. He has closed back up on Figge. Figge had stretched it out by almost a second and a half, and that is gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the problem there is, but maybe there's not a problem. Maybe Johnny O'Connell says, well, time to turn the wick up a little bit. We only have 8 laps left, 7 when they cross the finish line.
And the interesting thing is, I think the reason Johnny has to fire that up a little bit is Sofronis has closed right on the back there, and James Sofronis, we talked about it, said the longer the runs go, the quicker this Audi becomes. He said it is really wickedly good at the end of the race, and he showed that at the end of qualifying. Got that pole with a new track record in the very last lap of qualifying, and he'd been out there for a while. He said this thing just loves to run. It's kind of a secretariat the way I think.
Well, you know, those LMS cars were built for the long endurance races when they first got to Global Motorsports Group. A couple of body aerodynamic modifications that come out and race. So Audi has the setup on that. The Global Motorsports Group can prep those cars great. No problem there on that Audi R8.
Tommy Dreese was just hanging up here, still watching, and said a goodbye, and he said, I'm going to get down to Victory Circle because I'm going to go celebrate. And then he's going to be making plans to go see Epic, the movie that's going to be coming out. The sponsor he carries on that car, and that's just fantastic.
So also, if you're once again on Twitter, we have a Pirelli prize pack to give away. Here's another question. You have to direct it to @WC Racing. Use that hashtag PirelliWC. What is the Pirelli World Challenge tire wheel diameter for the GT class? Tweet your answer once again @WC Racing, hashtag PirelliWC. What is the Pirelli World Challenge tire wheel diameter for GT class? Win a Pirelli prize pack. We appreciate Pirelli once again, those Pirelli P0s on every single one of these cars.
Yeah, that company, Pirelli, in so many levels has helped this series achieve another level in its ongoing development and growth. And we couldn't be more grateful and, frankly, fortunate to have that level of support. It is special. All right, Petey Cunningham now. He is just not quite able to stay with Lawson Aschenbach. And Lawson ran a Camaro at another race yesterday, so he's getting pretty comfortable. But the thing to him is that he said this crew, Ray Sorensen and the Black Dog crew, are unbelievable. He said these cars didn't turn a wheel on a racetrack until that first session at St. Pete. And he said, I come in, Tony and I give them feedback. Every time we take that car out, it's better. And not just a little by chunks. He said this crew is doing phenomenal work.
Yeah, and you gotta feel for the guy too. He's had a couple hours of sleep one night. He's had 4 hours of sleep the next night, 6 hours last night. He took a nap this afternoon. 6,600 miles from here all the way to Atlanta. Come all the way back here. Man, the guy's got to be tired, but boy, I hate to see him in his prime.
Yeah, he is wicking it. It is pretty impressive. And by the way, keep in mind, sitting right now third in GTS, a ways back, but should anything happen, is Jack Baldwin, who's looking at another podium.
Looks like
Lou Gelati looks like in the LG Motorsports Camaro. It's had it go wrong down in turn number 1, and he's backed it into the wall. And Brandon Davis is fourth.
Yeah,
the
look
debut
at
of
that.
Aston Martin in GTS and those beautiful, fantastic GT. Oh, that's
our
Alex
leader.
Figge.
Alex Figge, our leader, into the wall. Not sure where that is, but wow, the K-Pax S60R, that is not, oh no.
Wow, I wonder if, did he get some water, some coolant, some fluid?
There is damage on the left rear there. You see the tail light broke.
Holy cow, unbelievable development here. So we're getting a report to say, okay, here we see what happened here.
He just had to have something break on the car.
As he went to the brakes heading down into turn 1, yeah.
I thought I saw for a second there both front tires pointed in opposite directions.
Tie rod snapped, something like that.
Maybe had a failure there to be down the straightaway like that and have that happen. That's he's got to be heartbroken. Here's Alex Figge now. Won a race, and we are full course yellow now. Is not sure if we can get it all cleaned up in time. We have about 9 minutes left here of the race. And
well, Lou's able to get clear, and with those 2 cars deep in the runoff.
Well, there it is.
Wow, so this is going to get interesting. O'Connell now over Safronis, Pilgrim, Skeen, and Duncan Endy now has moved up.
Yeah, Johnny O'Connell, James Safronis, and Andy Pilgrim here. If we do go back under green, there still is 5 laps left with 8 minutes. So it's once again, it's 31 laps or 50 minutes, whichever comes first. If we can get Alex Figge's car cleared off the track pretty quick, we might have a shootout here for the win.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Can we get him cleared? And of course, Lawson Aschenbach, once he got around Petey Cunningham, he'd opened up a bit of a margin. That's going to be evaporated. Here comes Lawson. And and that's going to let Jack Baldwin get right onto the back of this group. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this unfolds. They got Alex out of the car. And,
yeah, there's Alex Figge. Glad to see he's okay walking over to that official safety vehicle like we said.
Yeah.
We hate it when we have to use it, but it's great that we have it.
Absolutely, yeah. Dick Lubatino and Bob Thompson in that safety vehicle. Paramedics, trained medical staff that can respond immediately, know the drivers and the like. That's so key. The one thing I'm wondering is, and I'm looking for, is where Brandon Davis sits relative to Jack Baldwin and how many, if any, cars are between the two of them, because if they're there, this could get real interesting.
Yeah, you know, Brandon Davis, no slouch, 2-time winner here at Long Beach. He knows where to make the pass and how to get it done, and that brand new accident. Here's the incident.
Oh, Lou got some help.
Yeah, Kevin Gleason in the Napleton Porsche. I'm not sure if Lou didn't see him or why. I'm pretty sure that Kevin presented himself.
Well, he did, but he only had the nose of that car about halfway alongside Lou Gelati's car, and Lou, being an old-school racer, may have said, no, that's still my corner, and expected Gleason to dip the brake, and Gleason not doing it. So there's two guys going for the same spot, and look at Jack Baldwin is just all over that. And there's nobody between Baldwin and Davis, nobody between Davis and Mark Wilkins. Damian Faulkner is right in the mix. Boy, these two Aston Martins are showing very well. Looking forward, you know, we've talked to them a little bit, and they said they are very close to having the funding to make this a full year program for the rest of it. And the way they're running here today, I think they'd be well advised to do that. There's a look at Alex Figge. It's cool, man.
Wave to the crowd there.
A wave and a thumbs up.
You definitely deserve it, buddy. I'm sure the fans here love you for it. And man, like we said, it is a heartbreak there to see Alex Figge have that happen. And
truly, I'd sure love to see, you know, hopefully we'll get another replay of Alex's off, just to see that happen once again, to now know that he wasn't helped, that something went awry, and that's very tough indeed. And you know, I want to say it again, how cool is it to see the Ken Stout Racing, Lucas Oil,
Rockstar, E3 spark plugs, a lot of support there
from TRD, out and running this entire event. These guys have put in hours that our vampires would be jealous of.
Oh, you think about what they had to go through.
Because of the development on this supercharged engine on this. There are Scion FRS dealers and personnel from around the world have been calling them, leaving messages. Yeah, could we get the data on that turbo or that supercharger program? Is this the only one in existence for that car?
Yeah, they actually literally had the motor down to every single nut and bolt on the workbench and completely rebuilt it. He says, I just got to see a checkered flag. I don't care what session it is. It's the race, I hope, but just got to get a checkered flag here.
And that's a perfect opportunity for us to say thanks to the most unsung group, the heroes of motorsports, those crews that are there putting in just unbelievable hours. So these drivers not only have a safe car, but a fast car to go race in. and that's absolutely crucial. While we're still under caution, I'd also like to say a big thank you to all the volunteers. You know, the Long Beach Grand Prix Association is an organization that has a volunteer base that's phenomenal. They're out here in force this weekend. Sports Car Club America, most of the corner workers I'm betting around this track are SCCA corner workers out in harm's way in those white suits with the flags giving drivers information and assistance. Just a huge thanks to all the volunteers that make something like this happen. And there's also another very special group, Jeff, that we want to say thanks to that's very much associated with one of the cars out on track.
Yeah, of course, the Special Operations Warrior Fund. I got to stand up and give them a round of applause there. They've been up here as well. And Nick Asayan from Real Time Racing, those Acura teams. We had the kids up here, had some whole group of people. You know, the Navy SEAL there, you know, Kevin Kent and Ben Gallimore, they were here as well. Some of the kids of the fallen soldiers that we've had all across the world and the nation. And we're doing this here because of the things that they sacrificed and the families have sacrificed. And Nick Asayan just helps out as much as he can in the series. Thank you so much to Pirelli World Challenge for accommodating those kids and those families.
You bet. Special causes are special, and that's why we like to get so involved in them here. This is going to be real interesting here, watching this restart in that both classes. You know that Sofronis is going to be coming. One of the things that James says that about this car is that it is very, very good on brakes. And he said if we get an opportunity to use them, it's going to be exciting. And I'll tell you,
yep, those
they will not
in turn number 1.
Well, unfortunately, we're just getting word that we think that the checker will be coming out this time. They have decided that that part of the track cannot be cleared up in time, and it is a shame that we might just be finishing under caution here. We hate to do it, but the most important concern for this series is always for the safety of those drivers on the track, and we've got to be very cognizant of that, and race control has decided that the track will not probably be safe enough to be able to get this back and running. And so it looks like we might be under caution. We'll know as soon as they come out that last turn if the pace car does not duck in and the white flag comes out. We've had confirmation. If that happens, then the next lap it will be checkered with a yellow. And that's very, you know, we hate to see it. There's no question about it, folks. But sometimes that's just how the dice roll here. And at a street circuit, that is always a strong possibility. And it's unfortunate. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So going to see what unfolds here, watching the pace car.
Yeah, lights are still on as it comes around the hairpin, so we'll look for the checkered flag. And boy, it's a lot of smoke out of the back of that Cadillac. I think it might be a pretty fortunate deal here that we're going under checkered flag. But Johnny O'Connell, the number 3 Cadillac CTSV, white flag now. White flag as they come by.
Yeah. You can hear every one of these drivers was rolling into that throttle going, come on, baby, come on. And it's just not going to happen. So that's the unfortunate thing. Well, since that's the development, I'm going to let you bring it home. Well, there is some smell coming off of Johnny O's car. He's got an issue.
He still has to finish. There's still one more lap.
Yep, just because it's yellow doesn't mean that you're protected all the way around. You've got to complete it. So it's going to be interesting. But I'll let you bring them home. I'm going to go down and get all queued up down in well, actually, you got to get going because you got to go do the interviews. Hey, that back.
Yeah, hey.
So, yeah.
Oh, look at the smoke coming out of the back of Johnny O'Connell's car here. This is, it ain't over, folks. Stay tuned right now because that Cadillac CTSV, look at the smoke out of the pipes.
Out of the pipes.
Oh, hold your breath. He's pulled offline now. This is big.
This is incredible. Under full course caution, white flag, and Johnny is stopping. He is stopping. James Sofronis.
Local Global Motorsports Group Mobile 1 Audi R8, round number 2 at St. Pete winner, now up in the lead under the pace lap. And but the reliability of the Cadillacs has been bulletproof on the Cadillacs. I know this is there's a huge heartbreak for this team and Johnny O'Connell and Cadillac fans everywhere. But there you see Johnny getting out of the car.
All right. Well, unbelievable. O'Connell parks it. Sofronis, Pilgrim. Mike Skeen is going to move up a spot. He will end up on the podium. And I'll tell you, Mike was just lurking all the time. And with these incidents, he ends up with an opportunity here to do something very special. And it looks like he will do exactly that. My unbelievable developments here late in the going. And just incredible what we're seeing unfold here. And let's see, in the GTS category, it looks as though no problems be falling Lasse Aschenbach or PD or Jack Baldwin. And so that's how it's going to be, but unbelievable. Here he comes, James Safronas, getting his second consecutive win of this championship series. He has now joined Brandon Davis as the only double winner here on the streets of Long Beach. Fantastic for James Safronas. He had the win here in 2009, and now he brings it home once again. Fortuitous, yes, he'll be the first to admit that, but you know, you got to bring it home, and whatever might prevent you from doing that can create some interesting developments. Wow, what a finish. Safronas, Pilgrim, and Skeen are your podium, and in GTS, it is Lasse Aschenbach and that Black Dog Chevy Camaro, the second race for this team, moving over to GTS, and they bring it home with a win. Ray Sorensen, Tony Gaples, the guys, Black Dog Speed Shop, are going to be over the moon. Your multiple class champion, PD Cunningham, gets another podium. He's a point scoring machine, folks. And Jack Baldwin, your winner here last year, does himself no harm with points either, as he brings it home on the podium. Wow, unbelievable stuff. And of course, we're going to be Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly Sports Car Wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook.